Kyiv came under a sustained drone attack and missile attack last night, lasting 7 hours. Reportedly, 250 drones were used and 14 ballistic missiles. It sent the population again underground into the tube stations to shelter for most of the night. And there are indications that there were other attacks in other parts of Ukraine, in the south and further east, and as far west as Odessa. So that air operation on the Russians' part goes on. But the Ukrainians hit back themselves on Yelets. Last night, they claimed to have hit a battery factory on the Russian side of the border, deep inside Russia, in fact, at Yelets. And the battery factory creates batteries, manufactures batteries for missiles. And so Yelets itself is not a particularly important town, but the battery factory is, because without batteries, Russia's ballistic and cruise missiles can't easily operate. We have no idea how much damage the Ukrainians might have done to Yelets battery factory. They claim that they had a big hit on it, but we'll see. But if they were able to interrupt the supply of batteries to missiles, then arguably they can do something about the number of ballistic and cruise missiles that are being targeted against Ukraine, more or less now on a nightly basis. Meanwhile, the ground war goes on, and attention at the moment is concentrated on Kharkiv and the area in the north of Ukraine. Kharkiv is the second city. It's only less than 20 miles away from the border. And reportedly, the Russians are massing troops on their side of the border. The Ukrainians have been talking about this for several weeks now. And the expectation is that they're going to launch some sort of offensive in the north against the Kharkiv area and further northwest against Sumy, which is another major city in the north of Ukraine. Almost certainly, the Russians won't be able to take Kharkiv. It's the second city. It's a big city. They'd never got really near to taking it in 2022 when they really did try, nor can they probably take Sumy as cities. But what they probably can do is actually get over the border and begin to put pressure all the way along this border. What the Russians say, and they're making this fairly clear in Putin's statements, is that they want a buffer zone all the way along the front to protect them from Ukrainian attacks. From a military point of view, that's neither here nor there. It's not what they want. What they want to do is to create pressure along the border to pin Ukrainian forces in place so that those Ukrainian forces can't go further south, where they're now badly needed for the summer offensives, which the Russians are also pursuing in the south. And the other reason that they might want forces on the Ukrainian side of the border is it gives them a foot in the Kharkiv Oblast, the Kharkiv region and the Sumy region. And if they have a foot in those regions, then in any future negotiations, and we're a long way from them at the moment, but in any future negotiations, they will say, we're already in those regions, we will keep that footprint, and of course we want more, just as we want more in the 4 other oblasts that we have a footprint in, but we haven't fully conquered. So the politics of this overlays all of the military activity, and not least, the politics of this comes into the prisoner exchange, which is ongoing at the moment. Yesterday, about 500 prisoners were exchanged on each side, 500 each. And today, another 350-odd on each side. We expect these prisoner exchanges to go on again tomorrow until both sides have exchanged 1,000 prisoners, as they agreed to do last weekend at the Istanbul summit. This is all good in itself. It's a humanitarian gesture. Both sides want it. But in reality, it doesn't take us any nearer to a ceasefire. In fact, if we think about it logically, we are probably further away from a ceasefire now in Ukraine than we were about a month ago.